We've just entered a new season and you have a choice to make. How are you going to proceed? It all depends where you're at in your life, where you're at this point of your year. And I want to help you look at ways to make the most of this season while feeling your best. Take a listen. Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of this season's self-care app. I'm committed to helping you live into your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. And today's Q&A is all about identifying what that looks like for you in this season. We are in a new season. We have so many options ahead of us right now. We have many thoughts about maybe where we should be in our life, what we should be planning for, what this new season is like. And depending on what part of the world you're living in, you're either entering into summer or winter. And there's a whole lot of emotions and feelings attached to that. Many halfway through the year of how far have I come? Have I come far enough? Have I accomplished enough? Have I done enough? Am I successful? Am I achieving in the way that I want to achieve? And I just want to say, you are right exactly where you need to be in this moment. As you're looking at where you're at, and as you're looking at what your next steps possibly can be, it's so important that you take a beat to really assess where you're at right now and how you're feeling. We can very easily look at all of our goals through the year based on metrics and based on structures. And those are very, very important when you're looking at a business and when you're looking at elevating your career, etc. The very important metric that underpins everything, however, is how are you feeling? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually? What are your relationships looking like? Do you feel like you are running, and you don't really know? You don't really have an opportunity to recalibrate or actually even assess how you're feeling? That's a signal. It's a signal to slow down, to take a beat, and to just really think about this. Feel into it. And the importance of this will impact what your next steps are. In some cases, you may look at where you're at in your life and say, you know what, I've been coasting. There's been opportunities coming my way and I've kind of been sidelining them and waiting, and maybe I'm ready to really step into some action right now. But isn't it vacation time in the Northern Hemisphere? Shouldn't I be kind of slowing down because this is the time to chill and relax? Or maybe it's a time where everything is speeding up and you wonder, what is everyone else doing? So therefore, what should I be doing? Again, only you know what your next steps should be based on the goals that you have. Maybe regardless of what's happening around you, this could be a season of really significant growth for you and action in those areas that maybe you've been putting off, maybe you've not had time for. And maybe the fact that some parts of the world are slowing down a little bit or maybe getting into coast mode, depending on what industry you're in, maybe that gives you an edge to be able to leap forward. And in doing so, what's so important is for you to look at, how are you fueling yourself? Are you getting enough rest? Are you moving your body, getting some good exercise that feels right to you? Are you nutrienting yourself in such a way that you're supporting your best well-being and your best physical function? That's a place to begin. And then you get to decide, what are my next steps? And create a plan for the next season, the next 3 months. I love to think seasonally. Business is quarterly, right? We look at our business in quarters and we look at them in halves of the year. There's H1, H2, this is something that we do. And so you get to do that with your life, whether or not you're running a business or whatever your life looks like right now. You get to see in this season, Where do I need to be? So maybe you need to be speeding up. Maybe you've been coasting. It's okay. This is good. And I have to say there are times where the coasting is really valuable because you're allowing things to reach their regular crescendo of activity. Things are maturing. Each day kind of flows into the next, and you've got some nice momentum happening. Then there are those times that we need to start sprinting a bit. We need to move forward in such a way that really takes things forward. And whether that is in our physical life, say with working out or doing some sort of physical practice, whether it's in our business, whether it's in a career where you're wanting to grow and shift. And maybe it's even in some of your relationships if you're leading your family. Maybe there's some new changes you want to see come about. It's up to you. You get to move out of coast mode into action mode, into forward momentum mode, and take it up a notch. Just make sure that as you move forward, you're doing it in such a way that really feels good, where you are resourced all through the process. That is so key, because then you're pouring from a full cup and you're feeling good. On the flip side, maybe you have been running for a long time, and you're afraid that if you start to coast a bit or take a break, you're going to lose your momentum completely. You're going to miss opportunities. You're going to miss out on maybe some trend that is happening right now. Well, I'm here to let you know all trends come and go. Everything's cyclical. And for you to be running constantly, eventually it can catch up with you. You may have seen this already, where you just go so far that you burn out completely or you get really sick. And then all that time that you were hoping to really keep gaining ground, you now have to sit it out because you're not well. And that is not good for anyone. And it's also not good for your own self-esteem, because then you start beating yourself up. Right? We've all been there. It's like, oh, how could I let this happen to myself? I knew I was getting myself run down. I was running myself into the ground. I thought I knew better. It's okay. You come by it naturally, right? Like, this is our society. We feel like we have to be in perpetual motion, especially when we're so connected to our devices in such a way we're comparing where we're at with where others are at. So right now, again, you need to sit with you, look at what your goals are, and identify, do you need to slow down? Do you need to make a plan over the next season of where you factor in breaks and rest, and where you want to see your personal goals or your business goals in the next 3 months? You get to choose. And if you're looking for support to do these things, it really comes down to your own personal energetics. And I really invite you to go look at the Season Self-Care app and go through the cyclical self-care primer, because it helps you identify those areas in your life where you might need additional support, where maybe you've been avoiding caring for yourself in some ways. And there's also tools and tips in there on how to help you move forward into whichever season, the coasting or the action, in a really wholehearted, holistic way that feels good. That is why it exists. And that's why I do the work that I do. As a self-care strategist, it's all about what is the strategy that is going to help you get to your next phase of life, business, relationship, etc., feeling good, right? Reaching the goal without burning out, without sacrificing your well-being, because it is possible for you to do so. And I'm so championing whatever it is that you have in mind for yourself. So as you're moving into this next quarter, this brand new season that we're in, definitely, regardless of whether you're needing to coast or you're needing to speed up, make sure you do factor in times of enjoyment and pleasure and rest and celebration, right? The first part before everything else is to look at the last season that you came through. It may have been a really amazing one where you feel like you achieved a lot, or maybe one where you felt like, it was maybe underwhelming, maybe even disappointing. You need to look at that, digest it, take the lessons from that, celebrate the things that need celebrating, release the things that need releasing, and then make your plan to move forward. Because then you will have digested things and you can use those beautiful lessons to move you forward more informed, more connected to those things that are important to you, and also with a clearer idea of how you want to feel and maybe what you want to do differently. I really look forward to hearing how it goes for you. Please DM me, send me a message, pop a chat in the Season Self-Care app. And as we're getting ready to welcome more people into the Seasons Collective, go take a look at the link in the show notes and see how this may be something that can serve you as you're entering into your next season of life. It's where we get to shine a light on things like this and open up what is going on in our world, personally and professionally, to see how we can improve and how we can all rise together. So many beautiful things happen in community, and I look forward to meeting you in there if this is something that sounds like it's in alignment for you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I look forward to hearing all of the things that you're stepping into this season. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on another episode. Big blessings.